so far, Coach is up to $5 for me to tell him who the teams are in the Bowl.
I think I raised it to 20.
20? I don't think that's going to work.
Dadgummit. Come on, let's do an auction here. I've been doing some of that lately, Gene. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I got into that at our our K&K Foundation that we have. We have a big golf tournament. Well, I auctioned off some items at our golf tournament dinner, and then we did a benefit for a lady who had passed here recently here in Artesia, and they did a benefit at the Moose Lodge, and I auctioned off about 80, 85 items. That's pretty neat, man. It's tough. You're going so fast. The hardest part is you forget where you were at. Like, okay, you said 1,000, right? Now 15. And I'm like, okay, we're at 1,000. I mean, it was pretty fun. It was pretty neat. But
those guys that do that professionally,
man,
are pretty good at it. Let's see. I'm going to open this up in because I've got the bracket here for the tournament. Is that your first game for the boys? Is the
yes,
the
sir.
City of Champions
Yes,
tournament,
sir.
which is next Thursday, Friday,
next Thursday,
Saturday.
yes, sir. And we actually changed that. It's at 6 o'clock. We're not the late game that first night. We're going to start doing that. We alternate with the girls on the buyout. And so whoever's going to do the buyout, 10 o'clock game will play the 6 o'clock game that first night. And then, of course, will be the last two games on Friday and Saturday night. So
on the girls' side, you've got Carlsbad and Bel Air out of El Paso.
Yes, sir.
Alamogordo, Goddard, Riverside out of El Paso. You usually have a lot of El Paso schools, 2 or 3 that make it up here. Deming's going to be here, Ruidoso, and Artesia. And on the boys' side, Carlsbad, Los Lunas,
right.
Which is always a good opponent. Hobbs, you got the Hobbs Eagles coming
Yes, sir.
in. That's
yes, sir.
awesome. Rio Rancho.
Yeah.
And then Deming, Alamogordo. So you have the Deming boys and girls, Carlsbad boys and girls, Alamogordo boys and girls. And then Fort Sumner.
Yes, sir.
Is taking on the Artesia Bulldogs. So that's pretty good. They just won
football.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the worst story there is that they kind of bailed us out. It's putting on a tournament. There's a lot of moving pieces. And, we had Miami in that position. They dropped us last March and didn't want to come back. And we had secured an El Paso team. And long story short, paperwork, misunderstandings. About a month ago, they said, hey, we're not coming. And if anybody knows that puts on tournaments, it's really hard to find teams. And thank God Coach Holland answered my phone call, and they didn't have anything that weekend, and they really helped us out by playing in that tournament. And they are a 2A school. They are a smaller school, but, they really are doing us a favor by coming in and not being afraid to play bigger schools and it being a varsity team. That's the thing we wanted to make sure, because they are tournaments. Sometimes you have to plug in JVs, and that's something you don't want to do, and it's something we really take pride in here in Artesia. But this was kind of out of our control, and the team that was coming didn't end up coming, so we ended up with Fort Sumner. So they are a very good 2A varsity team. They're not going to be a small school that comes in here and can't compete.
Yeah.
They did just come off the 2A state championship in football, and they've got some big kids, and they've been practicing for the last 2 weeks, so they'll be ready to go. So
now, is there a tournament pass that you can buy, or do you just? I know people that buy their season passes.
Yes, sir.
Reserve seat season passes. The tournament's included with their ticket price. But what about if somebody shows up on Thursday and says, I just want to come and go as I like all weekend?
I'm pretty sure they're $20, and that gets you for the whole weekend. I could be wrong. $25. Tournament pass gets you into every game for the whole entire weekend, and there's basically 24 games. You're getting eight games on Friday or Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. 4 boys, 4 girls. Starts at 8:30, ends about 10:30. So you can do that, or you can just come in and purchase the individual game tickets, or if you are a season ticket holder, which is the chairbacks, you get into the tournament too. So that's a really, really good deal. We've sold a lot of those. I know they are selling them right now. The admin office, I think, is closed for the holiday break, but you can come in on Monday and come by the gym and get your season tickets. And I think those are $125, and it covers the whole entire season. So you're going to get, I know boys game, we've got 13 home games. The girls have roughly 13, plus all 24 tournament games. So you can't beat that, Gene. That's a really, really good deal, and you get a really, really good seat.
So Monday morning, run in there and get your season tickets and be ready for the tournament. Last year, you guys got into the playoffs again.
Yes, sir.
Got kind of deep in the playoffs and didn't quite get all the way to the
Right.
championship game, but still had a good season.
Yeah, we were really pleased. We won district for the third time in a row and really got better. And we ran into a Highland team that was the eventual 4A state champs. Lost to them by 11 in their gym. They beat the semifinals by 25. They won the state championship by 30. They had a big old 6'10" kid who graduated, thank God. He's actually doing really well at Eastern right now. But
Good.
So we were really pleased, and we played them tough. We had a chance there. We cut it to 6 a couple times, and we bring back 9 varsity guys, 4 starters, a plethora of seniors. We're adding Nemesio Hernandez back, who wasn't with us last year, but he's coming back, and then a good slew of juniors. We don't have a single sophomore on varsity, so we're a little older, but expect some great things, Gene. Really, really excited. For the first time in my career, you go to the gym. Like right now, I guarantee we've got kids in the gym shooting. 6 o'clock in the morning, you got anywhere from 10 to 15 kids, from freshmen all the way up to seniors that are in the gym, putting in the work, putting in the time, doing what it takes to be successful. So really excited the direction we're going and really excited for what we're going to look like this coming season.
That is great, and looking forward to it. How about the rest of the district? It's the same teams this year as it was last year. So
Right.
You've got Goddard, Lovington, and Portales are in your district. Have you had a chance to talk to their coaches, see what they've got coming back?
You kind of see them over the summer with different team camps, and the one we put on here, we got to see all 3 of those teams, and it's just so hard, Jeannie. Even us. Every year's new dynamics, new team, new chemistry. Goddard's going to have a new coach, Anthony Maestas, a really good friend of mine, that decided to step down, and they're going to miss him. He's a really, really good basketball coach. Lovington still has their same coach, but they graduated 6 or 7 seniors. They're really senior heavy. And Portales was kind of young last year. They did graduate their height. So all 3 of those teams are going to get better, and our district's always a battle. So, our schedule's brutal, which you can probably see, and it's one of those things we're just trying to get better and improve and make sure we're focusing on us, and all that will take care of itself. So.
Now, other than the City of Champions, are you in some other tournaments this year?
Yes, sir. We're actually in the Hobbs Holiday, which is always one of the most competitive tournaments in the state. We actually get to play Cleveland at 9:45 in the morning on that Thursday. So we're in that tournament there in Hobbs, and Highlands in that tournament, so maybe we can meet them and play them. I'd love to see them. And then we go to the Hope Christian tournament, which we're going to open up with Bloomfield at 4:45. And what's really neat about that one is our girls are going to be going this year to that tournament. And you guys set up last year, and it's a really good tournament, 4A teams, really good competitive tournament. It's in Albuquerque. I like going up there and kind of getting used to being up there because state tournament's there. So really good tournaments, and really excited about being a part of those tournaments and getting to play some really good teams.
Artesia has a lot of athletes that are multi-sport
Yes,
athletes.
sir.
So do you have some athletes that have come from soccer and football?
Absolutely. I would say probably 90% of our guys do something else other than basketball. We got our soccer guys, there's 4 of them, 3 of them, Cam, Adrian, Jay Fifth, varsity guys that came over, and they're with us now. And then we're waiting on another, I think we counted 9 from football. And Nick Sanchez is playing football, which everybody saw him. He does a great job in football. And, of course, Peyton Deans and Nia Estrada, Finley Rascone, Jaron Watkins, David Hammond, Riley Jarrett, Ricky Armandaris. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else. Peyton. I already said Peyton.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Nick. So we got a plethora of guys coming over. Like I always say, everybody always says, are you excited for season to start? And I said, it's kind of like Christmas where you get 2 presents. You got some of them, but you don't get to open up the rest until, 2 more weeks. So, yes, definitely. You can't beat that. They're going to go play for a state championship this weekend. They've really worked hard. Coach Moppin and them do a great job. A lot of the same beliefs in their program, feels over into ours. And they're going to go play for a state title on Saturday. And how cool would that be for them to experience that, get them a ring there, and then come over and bring that experience and all of that stuff that they've had to deal with in football and apply it to basketball. And it helps us, football sets the tone for us. I've always said that for us to be successful here in Artesia, I feel like they've got to do what they do, and then it carries over to all the other sports. And we're excited. We've got a really good group. Diego Weston was another one. I think I might have left him off. That's doing a great job in football. And what's really neat, Gene, is these guys are actually, we've got 4 or 5 of them coming right now. Like we practice here this morning at 8 to 10. They come and they get up and down, and they don't do any competition, anything that's going to get them hurt. but just that basketball conditioning and shooting and passing, and that's really, really neat to see. And that's why we're successful in Artesia. We've got guys, constantly in the gym or constantly hitting at the baseball field or doing what they need to do to be successful in their sports. They're not just that singular sport. That's all they do, and it really, really helps us in Artesia to be successful across the board.
I think something else that helps as well is it's been a couple of years now. The football schedule was moved up a week.
Right.
So instead of next weekend being the state championship weekend, this weekend is the state championship weekend. So that kind of helped with the basketball scheduling, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And what's really neat here too, Gene, we've got an administration and Coach Henderson, starting with him and our superintendents that really support multi-sport athletes. I go up north, all the time, and I talk at different clinics or talk to different coaches, and they're constantly fighting. We want these kids now. And they don't realize, these kids are going to get burned out if they do something year-round. I mean, just like anything else, these kids get tired of doing things. And we've got an administration that sets up our schedules. It literally pushes us to do multi-sport athletes, to really allow us to do things like making sure the schedules are the way they need to be, and just the support from our community. I mean, that's what makes Artesia great, and that's what makes us a city of champions. It's not because, we win. That's part of it. But it's how we win. We're going to have kids that are going to be out there playing big minutes for us in the football state championship. And on Thursday, they'll probably be starting for us. They're going to be tackling people. They're going to be traveling, and we might get in foul trouble early. But that's what keeps us from peaking early, Gene. And I love that we do that here. And I wouldn't want it any other way. And, we're very blessed to have the administration that we have and the leadership that we have that supports that.
One other thing I want to mention, next weekend is going to be such a busy weekend because we've talked about the City Champions Tournament,
right,
which is next weekend. The Wool Bowl is next weekend.
Yes, sir.
And that's a junior college bowl game that'll be played in Roswell on Friday evening.
Yes, sir.
And then on Saturday, you're part of the Coaches Association.
Right.
Saturday, the Bulldog Bowl is going to see a couple of football games.
Yeah, we're really excited with that. I'm fortunate enough to be on the board of directors for our Coaches Association, and Buster's done a good job, who's the president or director of our Coaches Association.
Buster Mabry.
Yes, sir, and he does a good job of he's moving the All-Star games. And last year, if you remember, it was in the Wool Bowl. And, of course, he hit us up, in the spring and said, hey, what do you think about doing it in Artesia? I said, we'd love to do it. So we're going to have 220 or so athletes and coaches, the best 4A and 5A and 1A, really 1A through 5A athletes. They'll come in Thursday. They're going to practice Thursday evening. I think they might be a part of the parade. I'm not for sure. They're working on that. They'll come in town. They're going to eat at all of our restaurants. They're going to stay in all of our hotels. And then they'll play their games at 12 and 3, I think it is, on Saturday. I'm pretty sure it's 12 and 3. I could be wrong on that. But it's really neat. It's really exciting. We have our tournament coinciding with the All-Star events for the weekend. They are going to do a, what do you call it, a recruiting type combine that Saturday morning out at JC Park. So it's going to be an amazing time. If you're a realtor in Artesia and you have, your own business and retail, you're going to have a lot of people looking for meals, a lot of people, spending money in different shops, and just love. It helps Artesia and helps our economy, and it really helps, our community, especially right before Christmas. So we're going to be having the tournament going on. We're going to be having the All-Star extravaganza, I guess you would say, going on. So a lot of good things next weekend. If you're bored, you don't have an excuse to be bored next weekend.
That's right.
There's all kinds of stuff to do.
Yeah, no, we're going to be busy as well. Matter of fact, Sunday, I'm going to be at their selection deal.
Nice.
In Albuquerque, and Josh Grine and Scott Galletti, who did the play-by-play for us last year, they're doing the play-by-play for us this year. So we're going to be there Sunday, pre-recording some coaches' interviews and reactions to the drafting of the players and all that kind of stuff.
Good.
So we're going to be doing that Sunday for our broadcast next Saturday when those two games take place at the Bulldog Bowl. So
awesome. It's going to be a fun time.
Yeah. So we're looking forward to it. Tanner's my Roswell video producer, and he was kind of stressing out. And Coach Fortuner was kind of stressing out, and I'm like, it's going to happen. We're going to do it. And it's going to be fine.
It'll work. It always finds a way to work itself out.
I always get stressed out 30 minutes before showtime. That's when I get stressed out. But no, it's going to be a fun weekend. Like you say, there are going to be a lot of people in town, whether it's for the basketball tournament or the football games. And
right.
I think one of the reasons the Wool Bowl was originally going to be on Saturday. They moved it to Friday.
For the All-Star game.
For the All-Star game, so that all the players that are going to be in the Red-Green All-Star game, they're going to the Wool Bowl.
Yeah, we're busing. That's another thing I left out. We're actually, our administration here does a great job. We're going to bus all of those kids over to Roswell. They're going to feed them there in Roswell, and then they're going to get to watch the college football games. So it's going to be a great experience for those athletes and those young men that have worked so hard to be in, an all-star. And the Coastal Association is doing a better job of really getting those kids and really showcasing them and making it about them. Because ultimately, that's what we're doing. We're trying to, showcase our athletes and our young men and women that go out and bust their tails, year round since they were little, to be all-stars. So excited for the tournament, though. I really am excited for the season and looking forward to some great things this coming year.
All right. And Tuesdays in this time slot, we're going to have either you or some basketball players with you, and we'll get to meet them through the course of the season. So we're looking forward to that.
Yes, sir. I just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Good luck to our girls tonight. They open up their season, and our football guys, I know they're going to go out and bring home that blue trophy, and wish Coach Moppin and his staff the best. And just thank you, Gene. I know we're excited. It's going to be crazy and wild and running, and season's here, man, basketball season, and looking forward to some great things. And don't forget tournament next week. Get your tickets, and looking forward to a great season.
All right. Sounds like a lot of fun. We're going to take a